function, and we're going to see how much they've improved since their Kespa Cup.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool to see. As you said, everybody's sticking together on that Samsung team. They're coming from day number 1, trying to create something very real, trying to get to that world stage once again. We'll see if they can do it. But jumping into pick and ban phase here between Longzhu and Samsung, we do have Cassiopeia as the first ban.
Yep. And I mean, I just expect basic power picks to be banned away, including Crown's Victor. I don't think that you want to let him have that. So we're expecting bans like Camille, LeBlanc, Rengar, Ryze, anything along those lines. And then the second part of the ban phase is really where the key bans are going to come in, because you really just want to skew the opponent's team composition.
I was thinking with that Cassio ban first, definitely one of the counters to Ryze, but it looks like they want to ban out Ryze as well. So lots of mid picks being taken away here. Crown, obviously a very strong mid player, so wanting to ban that out first. And both Cassio and Ryze definitely strong picks, as are LeBlanc and Camille. Camille being the second ban here for Samsung Galaxy Con.
Yep, and we'll see what the final ban is for Longzhu, as they have quite a few options because they are the blue side, so they definitely don't want to ban away Rengar or any of the other monster picks. Looks like they're highlighting Varus currently, and they do elect to ban him away. So now Samsung Galaxy, I almost feel like they're forced to actually ban away Rengar. I feel like currently Rengar and Camille are the two really just god-tier champions right now, and it's something that you almost shouldn't let through, similarly to Nidalee during LCK Summer.
Yeah, look at that. They are going to ban the Ashe, so Rengar gets through. Wouldn't be surprised to see that picked up here.
Yeah, I would expect an insta-lock-in, and it seems like they are hovering Rengar, so the cat might enter the rift.
Yeah, that's really interesting that they let that one through. Perhaps they have a couple of strong power picks after the Rengar, because they had to have known that that was going to be the pick. As you said, very obvious first pick there for Longzhu. Zyra is still up.
Zyra is up indeed, and Rengar being an engagement champion that really requires a lot to commit. Zyra is a pretty good champion, as she offers both engage and disengage, and she is one of the best supports in the game. Malzahar still on the table, so is Karma. And it looks like Samsung Galaxy highlighting the Lee Sin. This might actually enable Longzhu to respond with Caitlyn Karma, given that both of them are on the table, and then Caitlyn is just going to be able to bully Ezreal or Jhin or Twitch or any of the remaining AD carries, with Ashe and Varus having been removed.
Well, they are going to pick up that Jhin as the pick here. Jhin, definitely one of the other very strong AD champions left in the pool. Yep,
and when Zyra's on the enemy team comp, then of course you probably can just respond with Misfortune, as that is considered the hardest counter to Zyra in the game.
Misfortune also picked up here, so that's AD and support combo were the two choices for Longzhu. And now Ezreal, one of the leftover picks for that AD role. Looks like Samsung might be picking that one up next.
Yeah, and Ezreal is a pretty good pick here. Some people might be looking at this and wondering why no Caitlyn. And well, the reason for that is that Ezreal is able to reposition against the Curtain Call, against Misfortune's ultimate, and against Rengar. Additionally, because Jhin and Rengar are such heavy-hitting physical damage champions, he's able to go Iceborne Gauntlet instead of Trinity Force now, and be a little bit more tanky against them and just constantly kite for days.
Yeah, 80s nowadays in 2017 can sometimes be the butt of jokes, but having that escapability on the Ezreal definitely going to be fantastic. We do see some more bans coming out here in the second ban phase. Syndra, the first ban for Samsung Galaxy Con, and then Jace being hovered as of yet for Longzhu. Still no mid or top pick just yet for Samsung, so pretty solid ban there, I'd say.
Yep, Syndra being taken away because they need really strong, heavy-hitting magic damage, Longzhu does. And without that, then they really just tunnel into too much armor, and then it sets up Samsung Galaxy to actually just pick Poppy if they want to. The Jace response by Longzhu is to prevent any sort of Ezreal Jace comp, because it would be very difficult to actually get onto them with that Zyra right there and the disengage that even Lee Sin would offer in the later stages of the game.
And we have the follow-up of Echo as a ban, as well as Maokai, so two more top picks being taken away from the field.
And Echo being removed, Fly has been playing a ton of that on the Korean solo queue lately. Definitely is a hard-hitting magic damage champion. And with that, Longzhu actually responds with the Maokai ban, and now Poppy locked in for Samsung Galaxy. So they're setting up a lot to protect Ruler on that Ezreal.
And Singed coming in here.
And Singe being highlighted, and he might actually get locked in. There's a Korean Singe player on the ends tearing up the ladder. And now, I mean, handed back over to Samsung Galaxy, I think everyone knows what's coming when you let it get through the ban phase. There it is. There's the victor.
Well, they needed a mid laner, and of course, when you got Crown on your team and it gets through, as you're saying, the victor is going to be a fantastic choice. So, Singed coming through. What do you have to say about that, Ellis?
Well, I think that this draft is intentionally prepared by Longzhu from start to finish, maybe with the exception of the Rengar. And I say that because I was really expecting BDD to start tonight. He's rank 1 on the Korean solo queue ladder. He's tearing it up. But one of the things that Fly offers is also the ability to play wave clear champions, especially that Talia, which is popping up a lot lately. And that can go toe-to-toe with Crown's Victor.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun game to watch here. Lots of champions that can really get a bunch of action going. Everybody loves to watch Crown on. You know, he's arguably the best Victor in the world, if not the best. So giving that champion to him is always a treat to watch. And we do see that Rengar. This could be one of the only games we see in Spring where Rengar gets through. So enjoy it while you have it, guys.
Yep. Rengar, not a champion I was actually expecting to see at all, at least until he was nerfed. And we're going to see what Crash can do on him as the game's about to get started.
That's going to be a fun game indeed. Let's take another final look. Yes, that is Singed on your monitor, as well as Rengar, two champions that you might not expect to get through. Talia, Jin, and Misfortune to round up the lineup for Longzhu. Now looking over at Samsung, Poppy, Lee Sin, Victor, Ezreal, and Zyra coming through for this team. So here we go, guys, jumping into game number 1 of the second best of 3 of the night. It's going to be Longzhu Gaming versus Samsung Galaxy. Let's jump into it. Welcome back to Summoner's Rift for match number 2 of LCK Spring 2017, Longzhu versus Samsung Galaxy.
Yep, and we're seeing the fan out by both teams, although a little bit more aggression coming out of Longzhu. Rengar moving with that Singed. Singed able to turn on Ghost and Fling at a moment's notice, and that can get really dangerous when you're playing around brushes. Rengar can just keep leaping on you. And as we're getting into this game, I want to point out that Crash's last showing in LCK Summer was him absolutely eviscerating SK Telecom with a 91% kill participation Rek'Sai and a 75% kill participation Hecarim. And his only losses when he was getting fielded by Longzhu was actually to the hands of Peanut and Score, two ultra-aggressive Korean junglers, and Crash is known for his aggression. So we're going to have to see how Ambition handles one of the most aggressive junglers in the game, Rengar, coming from Crash.
Yeah, and Samsung obviously has to know this coming in. So Ambition, one of your veteran players in all of LCK, definitely has the experience, at least, going into this matchup. And this is so funny to see the Sins in this game. Definitely not what I was expecting.
I was not expecting it either, and I mean, this is 7.1, so ZZ Rot is actually nerfed in competitive because the range on it is significantly less, even though it deals more damage. So Singe isn't able to make as much use from it as he normally would.
Quite interesting to see him get through regardless. Just a bit of trading down here in bot lane. You can see that already. Samsung doing a ton of poke damage onto that MF. Having to use their pots very early, eat their biscuits, get that nutrition.
And they were able to zone them out quite handily early on. Ruler and CoreJJ doing a good job level 1. Now again, both of these junglers are monolith junglers, so there is the option to hand off the blue buff, although we see that neither of them are doing it right now.
Ruler's Qs onto Prey and Gorilla have been quite fantastic so far. Really on point with that.
Ambition getting level 3 in the blue. Now he might actually just try to find Crash, although this could get very ugly right now.
There you go, the leap onto Ambition. He's just gonna have to hop onto a ward and get out of there, but here comes Fly. They're not gonna give up on this one just yet. The poke coming down, he's gonna be forced to flash. And so here comes Crash. You weren't joking about the aggression. Coming on in. Oh, he backs off and doesn't get him. Unbelievable. Ambition stays alive.
Oh, that is so big for Samsung right now. Crash made a huge mistake, and he didn't have the line of sight to jump onto Ambition. So Ambition manages to get out, and that was really big because it also would have been the double buff reset and first blood assist going over to Fly. And so because Ambition was able to get away from that, Crown able to get an experience lead in mid, able to get a CS advantage, gold lead, and that's not something that you want to have happen. You don't want to let Victor get to his Hex core free.
Yeah, and even more than that, you saw Crash having to burn his flash to even get an opportunity at that. You had already burned the flash onto the Lee Sin. Let's take another look at this.
Yeah, so you have Fly coming in, getting that volley onto Lee Sin, and Crash flashes over the wall, and he had it, but he didn't stay on him.
He even had the slow from red buff too. All he had to do was walk up and tap him once, but he went for the leap instead.
Yep. Little bit too greedy by Crash, trying to style kill him. Not necessary.
I can already tell I'm going to like this guy as a jungler, though. Like, that's some pretty insane aggression. He really goes for those kills.
Yep. And Expression with the triple Dark Seal start. This is what the Singeds are doing nowadays. Combine that with his ultimate and Corrupting Potion later on, and it's really difficult to get Singed out of the lane.
Yeah, his regeneration is just kind of insanity at that point, so you can just chill up there for as long as possible. Never-ending pushes. He can proxy the wave, and it definitely, you know, directs the attention up into the top lane to try to deal with that guy if it gets away from your top lane.
Now we can see that Crash has completed his Warhammer, and he's moving back out onto the map, and Crash certainly wants to make things happen. Ambition really hurting, actually, on his itemization. Just able to pick up a Talisman.
Well, he's attempting to get some vision in there at least, pick up a Scuttle Crab, and really just keep that bottom lane safe away from that the Rengar. And yeah, just gonna back off from there.
One of the things that is coming into my mind was Samsung Galaxy's inability to protect Crown from champions that run at him. I think of the Worlds match against Yankos' Olaf, and Singed and Rengar, they come at you really quick, and unlike Olaf, they actually don't run out of fuel. So it might be really difficult, because in the later stages, I can't see a way for the Samsung Galaxy team composition to actually resist against Singed's split push.
It's a very interesting point you bring up, and as you said, Expression, or rather Longzhu as a team, had this pick in the bag and prepared coming into this one. It wasn't just like, oh, okay, let's just pick it up, you know? And we'll have to see what kind of work they can get done with that.
And Ambition does have his green smite, so he's able to get more ward coverage down Fly.
Sonic Wave going down onto him. It's going to push him back, lots of damage, not too much follow-up from that Zyra, but they will at least push Fly out of the lane. See Crown even trying to get a deeper ward with that too. They're going to spot with that control ward and clear out that vision at least.
Expression looking for Ambition, it seems. Oh no.
Oh, and he's going to go on in, using that ultimate, going to flip him back, and tons of damage coming down. Ambition, the poison is not going to kill him.
And that didn't cost him too much. He did use his Ghost, but he's never really going to be in a position where he's in too much danger. And now he's able to run back up to top lane, pick up the wave as it comes into his turret. He misses a little bit of CS, so it is some nice breathing room for Cuvée. And you can see Crash is just trying to stay on top of Ambition right now.
Yeah, he really is. I mean, he knows that he took a lot of damage. He pokes on in, see if he can get any farm. No deep wards just yet, but they know that the blue is about to spawn. You can see assisting pings going down there. See if they can actually pick up that blue. Oh, comes the ultimate out onto Ruler. Gonna dodge a couple. That last hit was so close to killing him, but he does just barely get away. But here comes Crash, as well as Fly coming on in. The flash is gonna have to be used, but first blood going over to Fly as they do take him out. Zyra also going down, and even for the cost of Crash, they do get the 2-for-1 and a nice bit of pressure onto this bottom turret.
And that was a fantastic 2-for-1. Expression was recalled, so Ambition wasn't able to try to make anything happen up in top lane. Crown can't really do anything in mid lane early on, and that was just a beautiful setup. Crash was right here to assist. he didn't have to go on to Ruler because Fly probably told him, I got it, you handle Zyra. Unfortunately, Crash ended up dying, and Zyra was able to get the kill right there, which is good for Samsung, but still, just really great coordination so far for Longzhu.
Yeah, I love that roaming coming out of Fly too, just really getting in on top of that. Had to use the flash there, did Ruler as well, so some Summoner is going to be down for him. He still has his heal. Saving that one, knew he couldn't get away from Fly at that point.
So now, while Fly does have the first blood kill in 59 CS, Crown though, 80 CS, not too far behind on that gold score, and also the way that Fly is itemizing is going to mean that Crown is going to be more impactful in the mid-game team fights, and so they're going to have to be really careful, and they want to certainly just play around bottom and keep getting Prey and Gorilla ahead.
Yeah, and you can see that they are already ahead. Prey going up to 94 CS to 65, that's almost 30 CS ahead. And after getting that kill right under turret and allowing 2 waves to go into the turret that were denied away from Ruler, they're going to be in a pretty nice spot here. Ooh, very close to stealing that blue too, Ambition. Nice read there, actually lets that hit the blue and then gets the last hit.
Here we see a Gorilla in the jungle, trying to get some more coverage down, followed by a cat. We're at the zoo today.
Joining with each other here, seeing what they can do. The Ocean Drake is the first Drake on the map. Suppose it would provide even more sustain for the Singed if Longzhu could manage to pick that up.
Oh, and Ruler getting hit again. Prey is so good.
Oh boy, and using that exhaust, are they going to be able to get it? There comes Crash, and is he going to go in for the second kill? Just barely not, and nice job there from the bot lane, and Crash coming in to secure that kill.
And they're just making this Rengar pick work so well. The coordination between Crash and Gorilla to deny all the vision around bot lane and play around that with the Rengar pick. They have blown this game wide open from bottom, and you can see that Ambition can't keep up with this. So we're just seeing another quick replay, and Prey, again, as I said, so good at landing those snares, and the curtain call comes out, gets the slow.
Oh boy. Core actually flashes away from that and lets Ruler eat one of the shots of the ultimate, the curtain call, and well, they're able to pick up another kill. As you were saying, take a look at that river. There's 0 vision for Samsung right now. You can see now that finally Longzhu has backed off, it's going to be up to Ambition and Core JD to try to, you know, get some vision back in that area.
Also important to note that Prey elected into the Yumu's build. That is signifying that he knows that he's ahead, he wants to stay ahead, and it's still an acceleration item, especially because Samsung has so many champions that are not likely to itemize a lot of armor. It's still going to be pretty relevant, and it's just going to get him into position. He also has the swiftness boots, so when they put the Jhin in mid lane, he's going to be able to quickly go to bottom or top whenever necessary to get that curtain call out.
Very true. Lots of movement around this Ocean Drake right now. You have to think that perhaps Samsung is regretting their Rengar pick. It's done so much work for Longzhu so far. It's sitting around there. It looks like a lot of Samsung wants to back off now with Victor going back to buy.
And Longzhu might just pick up this Ocean Drake. Not the most impactful dragon right now. We're almost approaching the 15-minute mark. This is basically the point where the laning phase ends, and the Ocean Drake is still going to be relevant, but not as relevant as it could have been had it been picked up earlier.
Yeah. And you can see right now, I mean, they have nothing else to do, so they can just kind of just come in here and grab this one. You see bot lane is totally pushed. They had just pushed in the mid lane. Victor wasn't there. There's no real objectives that they're giving up either, so gonna pick up the Ocean Drake. Very nicely done, trying to secure that lead.
And you can just see the Ambition not able to make anything happen. Now, interestingly enough, what they're going to want to do here is normally you would see an 80 carry and support go top here, but hold on, as we might have a fight.
Gonna have to kick them away there. They saw the rest of Longzhu coming in, trying to get that slow though. There's that MF we were talking about. Here comes Talia on the way, curtain call. Ambition actually eating one of them. Couple of pokes would do it. He is so low back there. Are they gonna dive? No, just barely not, but oh, hold that thought. Here comes Crash. The cat, he wants blood. Ambition is going to get away, just barely. Poppy, though, also does get away. They failed to stop the recall. So there you go. Everybody does get away. Crown also pushing mid lane at the same time.
That's all Crown's been doing this game. He hasn't been able to move. And as I was just saying a moment ago, is normally at that point in the game, you would not actually want to have an 80 carry and support go top. or you would want to have them go top, but they don't want to at this point because of Talia. And it's so important to have Talia in the middle to use that Weaver's Wall to just get to places whenever necessary.
Look at Crown being very, very confident jumping in here onto Fly. Not able to, and that's done, but there comes the laser, just barely not enough. Fly does get away. Not able to save that turret either.
Crown able to get the turret. He also went for a Hex Core completion rush. So he is going to be pretty scary inside of the team fights early. And with the mid tower still alive, it's going to be difficult for Longzhu to penetrate that early on.
You were talking about how the itemization here for Victor definitely going to help him out in mid-game. He's up about 32 CS and not a single completed item just yet for Talia, so has to get on top of that.
And now Crown probably just going to recall here, and Prey and Gorilla, they're going to be completely content to stay around mid lane, and I wouldn't be surprised if Talia comes here too. Something that we normally wouldn't see, but it's so specific to the team composition for Longzhu.
I see QV also jumping down into mid lane to help out against this push. Don't think they'll be able to catch anyone out just yet, but at least sticking around for some help. Both Prey and Gorilla looking to go back. Actually, Prey sticks around the mid lane.
Okay, getting the Skull Crab right there. And with Prey recalling, there's quite a bit of downtime, and this is something that you generally don't want to let Samsung do, primarily because this is what they were so good at Worlds, leading up to Worlds, even in the Kespa Cup, where if you just let them turtle, their biggest strength is their late game, and letting them get there is a pretty big mistake.
Yeah, I mean, as you were saying, Crown is just kind of chilling right now, 151 CS, 156, I suppose, at 15 minutes and a half. Really just being a farm monster. Hasn't joined a single fight just yet, except that 1v1 he had with Fly. And here he comes back to the mid lane. They have done a good job of not allowing Prey and Gorilla to push in that mid lane turret just yet.
Prey and Gorilla are trying to do what they can. They have actually put Fly in bottom lane. He does have the Weaver's Wall, so he can come mid when necessary.
You can see pings going down onto that Talia too. She seems to be clearing out a ward. And I mean, you were talking about how that Jace was going to be a little bit dangerous because of the poke. They still have a decent amount of poke. Oh, hold that thought. Ambition is going to be jumped on here by Crash. Will get away.
Doesn't want to go too far. Doesn't want to get locked up by Zyra. Didn't have any passive stacks to break free. And the next dragon of the game is actually Inferno Drake, so expect Longzhu to commit a lot of ward coverage and making sure that they clear out the wards around that as a benefit for team composition. Great.
Oh, look at that. A flash away here by Core JJ. Ruler is going to be saved. Oh no, the last hit getting up to Core JJ. Definitely a big mistake there as two members of Samsung not able to guard him and save him from the last hit of Curtain Call.
Yeah, and here comes Cuvée. And Crown with the flank.
Oh, look at that. Prey is going to be forced to flash away as well, as that Victor is super scary at this point in the game.
And Expression not doing too much. Well, he does find Cuvée. And while they did get that kill onto Prey, they haven't really secured the turret yet, although it's likely to fall right now.
Looks like it, especially with Expression around to just be a bully in front of the rest of them and protect that team. Dissuade them from coming on in. Crown hoping to provide a little bit of poke, but not going to save that turret. It does go down.
Oddly enough, he actually elected to use Ghost there, and I'm not quite sure why. It's not going to be the biggest loss. He does have those Ionian boots, so it is providing summoner cooldown reduction. And he's picked up the Gromp and moving bot lane, so he's going to be able to push in this wave. Although now we can see Prey moving up mid, Talia moving down bottom, Dragon coming up soon. And in this replay here, you can see Core JJ barely able to get out, but that last shot of the Curtain Call by Prey, able to secure the kill.
All they had to do was line up and not allow that to hit, but just nice snipe as well from Prey. I mean, they don't call him one of the best ADCs in the world for nothing, so very nicely done to snipe out that kill, offered them the mid turret.
And Expression continuing his split push up in top lane. He elected for the Righteous Glory as the first item, and that's going to make it very easy for him to get onto Crown if Cuvée and Ambition fail to protect him during the team fights.
Oh, there's There's that Infernal Drake. Has spawned. It looks like Longzhu has control of the river and the Scuttle Crab for now. Also have a bunch of control wards around. One down there in the bottom river, as well as a couple in the mid lane. So this is almost going to be free unless Samsung can get over there in just a couple of seconds.
And looks like Crash will indeed get that for free.
There it is.
Now Fly's back in bottom lane, and everyone's just continuing to farm up, which you know that Samsung is content to do. Just let Crown get to 4, 5, 6 items, and then let it become the victor show. They've won many games like that.
Yeah, he just has ridiculous amounts of damage sustained. Very late. And there comes that wall. They're going to try to trap all of Samsung. Teleport coming in, but there's the cat jumping on in. Zyra does get pushed down. Ambition is super low, but so is Gorilla. Down goes Ambition. It's going to be a 2-for-1 right now, but here comes the Victor as well. Coming in from behind. Expansion trying to do a ton of damage to him, and he just barely goes down to the crit. But here comes Cuvee. Can they actually pick up the kill? It looks like they might just barely be able to. The dash onto him, they're going to leave it to Fly. Expansion trying to go after Ruler, but he does jump away. They at least pick up the Poppy on the back of it.
Yeah, and so in the end, that was a 3-for-4 in favor of Longzhu. Ruler probably going to be forced off this turret right now. He doesn't want to stick around. This turret's probably going to end up going down. And that was something that Samsung Galaxy did not want to have happen. Never mind, CoreJJ arrived. They managed to push back the wave.
I want to see a replay of that fight actually here in just a bit, because so much stuff was going on, a very long, extended fight. We also didn't really get to see Crown coming in from behind. Let's take a look.
Look at the coordination here from Fly's Weaver's Wall to basically pin Samsung against it, and it just sets up perfectly for Crash to get in there and assassinate CoreJJ. Unfortunately, Gorilla a little bit too far forward, ends up getting picked off, and then when Crown arrived, this actually got really dangerous. You can see Expression flipped him into the fight, but Prey, with that final bullet, able to end Crown. Then I really thought Ruler and Cuvee were both going to go down here, but fortunately for Samsung, Ruler was able to make it away.
Just barely. That Ezreal pick, we were talking about that escapability that he does have. Did allow him to get out of there, but Longzhu is looking pretty good, I have to say. I mean, their coordination, as you were saying, to just line up those two ultimates from both the Misfortune and the Talia was quite nice.
And looking at the game right now, Rylai is completed for Crown, and the Raptor's Cloak completed for Expression, so he's probably not too far off that ZZ Rot portal, which will be his next item.
Oh, look at this. The Ghost, rather not the Ghost, but coming on in. Cuvee going to take a bit of damage, does get the stun here. Going to land him into the wall. Cuvee going to attempt to ult him out, and that he does, but still a lot of damage coming down. Can they get it? Misfortune just barely able to pick that up. Crash was around as well to secure that. Cuvee just getting slightly out of position.
Every time I see someone trying to kill a Poppy, it's like watching a raid boss go down.
They had the rest of the team there just in case some Poppy shenanigans went down. But getting that Poppy kill is quite nice. Now it's a 5v4 around this mid turret that they already did a nice amount of damage. Look at the poke as well from Fly. Already Ambition and CoreJJ at about half health.
And we're seeing Samsung just trying to hold it together, although they keep getting randomly picked off at certain points. And now we're approaching we're just over the 22-minute mark. Baron is a real threat. Next Dragon is also going to be coming up soon. And the problem is that they're going to have to start responding to a ZZ Rot split push while trying to micromanage the vision around the neutral objectives. And that's going to be quite a task for Samsung.
You can see they finally get over to that Baron to clear up some of the vision, but the Expression push just does not end on that Singed. Here comes Crash on the chase, though. They do have the vision onto him. Ghost is going to be popped by Crown, but is he going to be able to get out of this one? Crash does an extreme amount of damage. The slow is going to land. He does miss that, but here comes Fly. He does get the back, and oh, so close. He just barely goes down. Gorilla is going to have to pay for his life with it, unfortunately.
Crown just way too out of position, way too far forward, constantly trying to get farm. Here comes Expression.
Expression coming on in. The curtain call is going to take down Lee Sin, and CoreJJ is all alone. Going to be forced to flash, but it does not matter. Big snipe there on the last bullet from curtain call. And Longzhu, with the help of their bot lane, is playing so well tonight.
Praise Jin is just absolutely fantastic with these curtain calls tonight. and look at his score, 5-1-5. But just a moment ago, I mean, the setup by Fly and Crash to take down Crown was basically the key moment here, and you can see that he ulted up from River. Crown already knew he was under a lot of pressure. He ghosted away. I feel like Crown made a mistake here, not choosing to use the CC immunity and instead electing for the damage. Crown almost lived, but didn't matter. Gorilla was there, but then Ambition chooses to try to kill Gorilla, and meanwhile, Expression was coming up for a flank from behind.
Expression was coming on in. They just land slow after slow and root onto Ambition. And second bullet gets him, and he saves the last one until after the flash. Unbelievable. That was just barely enough damage to take him down too, so it's really the Jin show so far in this game.
Yeah, Jin show indeed. And
this once again, it's gonna go down, and Fly gonna be forced to back away. The heal does save him, but definitely a nice pick off there. Maybe now they can finally get that turret, although Cuvée is coming in from behind.
Cuvée coming in from behind, but Crown out of position yet again. Up there in the top lane, and you can see a ping go down on the minion wave again, and he just keeps trying to get farm.
He's been farming all game long. That's all he really knows so far. And I mean, I suppose he's getting so farmed up by the time that it does get to 30, 40 minutes into this game, he is going to be a monster.
Pepperidge Farm remembers when he carried his Victor.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people watching do as well. This guy is very famous for it. But again, he's farming so much that he's not helping his team save turrets in the mid lane. He's not helping, you know, Core JJ continuously getting caught out. I suppose it's hard to do that as just a Victor, but still could be supporting his team a bit more.
And Cloud Drake is the dragon that has spawned. And it's interesting because Longzhu is clearly in position to take it, but the question becomes, do you delay until 29 minutes to take it to guarantee that the next dragon spawned is Elder, or do you take it right now and try to RNG another Drake? Unfortunately for Longzhu, they didn't end up getting any of the Mountain Drakes, which helps greatly with getting inside of a base against a Victor. But they're going to pick this up nonetheless.
Maybe that's part of the hope, you know, if they can get another Drake and maybe get it to be Mountain, that'll help out in their push. But down it goes. They're going to pick up Cloud Drakes. That's their third dragon of the game.
Rotating down to bot lane now with Fly. You see Gorilla just waiting to get in position. Here comes the curtain call.
And a couple of slows, and there's the MF ult as well, and Crash is going to finish that off. Really no hope, and once again, I mean, he was pretty far down the lane and top lane as he got caught out, and there he is, getting caught out once again. There's just so much poke and, you know, lockdown from this Longzhu team that he really has to be careful, even behind his own turret.
Oh, really careful. Our Ambition. And Samsung is just trying to hold on, and what this push does that they're doing right now is it draws all the attention away from Expression up in top lane, but it also draws attention away from the left-hand side of the map, which is going to be their next focus because Baron's on the table.
Yeah, very true. They push that in quite a lot, and Expression pushing onto that top turret. The root does come down, but Expression should be just fine, even with Ambition around. They probably could not kill him at this point.
Ambition one level down, under Crash, and it's just a point in the game where everyone's just trying to get farm for Samsung. Interestingly enough, by the way, is Ruler opted for Triforce instead of the Iceborne Gauntlet, even though I'm pretty sure that the Iceborne would have been a lot better at kiting away from a Rengar, a Singed, and then just providing the armor against Rengar and Jhin.
Quite an interesting pickup indeed. Everybody trying to get farm on Samsung, but they don't have too much vision around this Baron pit right now. They do have one ward in the pit, but with the control ward of Longzhu there. Again, they're just trying to poke just a bit, perhaps get a lockdown onto someone, and they can easily jump onto whoever that is if they do. So you can see Samsung now backing off quite far. The only vision they have is that one ward in the pit.
In bottom lane, actually, Expression and Cuvée just ran by each other.
Yep. Rather not fight the 10-minute tank fight at this point.
Yep. Nothing really happening, and all that's happening is Longzhu is trying to bait Samsung into a Baron fight. And Samsung's not biting.
Look at all the pings going down in this. Here comes the wall, and here comes Talia jumping in behind Ruler, but the flash is going to get him away. The curtain call, the last hit is not going to save him, but there comes Crash, does pick up the kill onto Lee Sin. And that was the pick they were looking for, taking out that jungle. Now they can go right towards that Baron and force Samsung to respond.
They can go to the Baron indeed, no smite for Samsung. Victor's laser not quite able to try to steal away from Crash.
What are they going to do? Nice slowing here from Gorilla too. Really making it as hard as possible for Samsung to come in here and contest. Even 4v5, are they going to go for it? No. Shot Barrage is going to be a little bit late. Cube even forced a flash here to get out, and there is Baron over to Longzhu.
And even though Samsung didn't have a lot of deaths occur, they just flew so many summoners. Flash off of Ruler, flash off Ambition, flash off Cuvée, and you can just see the problem that they don't have a real way to get to Prey, and they have no way to protect Crown. So now it comes to the point where now they have to defend against Baron buffed minions, and Crown's not strong enough to just keep wave clearing yet. You can see Fly trying to set up a kill right there. They end up getting one onto Ambition, and that Rengar pick is just doing work. Special couldn't find the kill right there, but it didn't matter as they just turned their attention towards Baron.
Rengar is really great for this composition too. So many knockbacks and lockdowns, and with the speed of Rengar to jump in there and secure that kill with the amount of damage that he does, it's really been working out so far in this game. And loving the Talia pick too. I was a little bit skeptical, but nice play so far out of Fly.
Expression pushing up in top lane, Crown trying to resist it, and Expression having the Guardian Angel, that's going to enable him to just go super hard underneath and behind turrets.
Ambition now trying to challenge Crash here, but look at that. They're taking so much focus away from the top lane while pushing the bot lane incredibly hard with those Baron buff minions. True Shot Barrage is going to help on out here, but see that inhibitor at about half health. Playing it very slow here is Longzhu, trying not to overcommit at this point.
They're just trying to hold together, but the walls are caving in all around them. And they don't have the firepower to really threaten Longzhu, and here comes the Weaver's Wall.
Weaver's Wall, who does it get onto? It does not trap anyone, but it does secure that inhibitor. So there you go. It's kind of like Smeb's Maokai from before, where he was just really trying to do secure objectives. And still, Poke coming down, they can easily rotate into the mid lane, already taking a lot of damage. It's about to go down. Here comes Curtain Call, and does Samsung want to stay around for this? In comes the Cat of Crash, and MF ult as well. And it looks like they're really just trying to push Samsung as far back as possible. Oh, unbelievable snipe once again. Oh man, this guy is on fire. Prey, unbelievable play tonight.
Oh man, poor JJ just keeps getting sniped by Prey's Jhin. And it's really been a pleasure to watch. Oh no, Crown got locked down.
Here we go again, he's unbelievably low. You can see that Cat Storm is out, but not onto anyone either. Cube taking a ton of damage too. Prey gonna pick up yet another kill. They can easily tank this turret and get onto that final inhibitor. Do they want to kill as well? Ruler not quite having the same poke as Death did in their first game tonight. Here comes Crown trying to make something happen, but can they do something? I mean, Ruler's coming in too, and here comes Ambition. Not quite.
And Fly flashed away right there, but honestly, he didn't need to. If you look at the map right now, there's no possible way for Samsung to come out of their base, but let's take a quick look at it again. So Crown able to be saved by Ambition and Cuvée sacrificing themselves for him. Ambition able to stay alive, but turret goes down nonetheless. When Crown gets back to the fight, they try to turn it, but we did not get to see that in the replay.
Oh.
And, oh, we have a pause.
Okay. Wonder what the problem could be. I mean, at this point, the game is nearing its completion with 3 inhibitors down.
And so that's what I'm referring to there.
So guys, the game, it is back, and it seems like the issues have been solved. And let's get back to the Prey show, shall we? Curtain Call coming down, and able to kill that Lee Sin through it. Here comes the Rengar. Nice ult from Poppy to get him away, but it's just not going to matter at this point. Prey continuing to get kill after kill. They're going for it. They want to get Crown. Finally, that Sin's able to go in and get the kill. They take out one tower as well to flash in. There's the crit. And oh boy, Core JJ, he's going to have to eat another one as they take down the entire team and take down game number 1.